Hello, fellow EDH deck building enthusiasts. Are you ready to dig up some corpses and have a party? Welcome to another edition of 5450, where I build 50 decks that cost less than $50. Number 6 on my list is Zul Ashur, Lich Lord. She costs 1 black, 1 colorless, and she's a 2/2 legendary zombie warlock with Ward, pay 2 life, and has the ability tap. You may cast target zombie creature from your graveyard this turn. Now, currently, she only has 1,494 decks and is ranked number 999 on EDH Rec. And she's only the 12th most popular zombie tribal commander, which to me is wild because I think she's the perfect zombie commander. Her pros are the cheap cost, she can die quite a few times and you can still hardcast her, and her ability is very useful in more ways than one. Obviously, you get the zombie recursion every turn, but her interaction works extremely well with sacrifice and graveyard strategies. Not to mention, Mono Black has lots of ways to keep her on the board if she does get taken out and put in the bin. There are some cons, though. For one, 2/2 is not the best stat line. She definitely dies to shock. And Ward pay 2 life, while making your opponent lose 2 life when they target her is nice, it's not going to stop people from taking her out. And we're also pretty weak to graveyard hate, so you have to be really careful with this deck, to be honest, as they can easily hose you, and some games you're just going to get shut down. But to be fair, these days in EDH, I mean, that can happen a lot more than you think. So no matter what deck you play, it can suck sometimes. It's a wild world out there, and there's so many freaking cards now, you never know. The total cost of this deck is less than 49 bucks, even if you include the commander's cost. And if you really wanted to, you could even go a lot cheaper because there's some pricey cards I included that aren't mandatory. So if you cut Death Baron, Diagraph Colossus, Liliana, and Endless Ranks of the Dead, you almost cut the deck's cost in half, which is super cheap, and you can always mix and match and customize a deck to how you like. Overall, though, what I love about commanders like Zul is she's powerful enough to have a big impact, but isn't really that oppressive or threatening enough to scare your opponents into targeting her or putting a target on your own back. And to me, that's what I usually look for in a commander. To kick things off with the setup, this deck has so many ways to keep your hand full and to keep your game plan moving. We have the usual mono black suspects like Sign in Blood, black sorcery, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Simple and effective, and hey, a burn spell for 2 if need be. Dire Sight, 1 black, 2 color sorcery, surveil 2, draw 2, lose 2. This needs to be a draw 4 sometimes, as Surveil can put 2 creatures in your graveyard that you can bring back with Zul's ability. So this card can be an all-star sometimes. I also love that little frog warlock. What's he up to on that picture? Pact of the Serpent, black 1 sorcery. Choose a creature type. Target player draws X cards and loses X life, where X is the number of creatures they control of the chosen type. For less than a buck, this is another all-star. And hey, it's technically a burn spell, because it can target any player. Read the Bones. Black 2 color sorcery. Scry 2, draw 2, lose 2. It just doesn't get any more simple and great than that. Village Rites and Corrupted Conviction both cost 1 black on our instance. Both say, as an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. Cheap, and we can always get the cards back with Zul that we sacrifice, if they're zombies. Reckoner's Bargain. 1 black, 1 colorless, instant. As an additional cost to the spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. You gain life equal to the sacrificed permanent's mana value. Draw 2 cards. Nice way to get some extra life as well. There's also Undead Augur, black, 2/2 zombie wizard. Whenever this creature or another zombie control dies, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Archghoul of Thraben, 1 black, 2 colorless, 3/2 zombie cleric. Whenever this creature or another zombie control dies, look at the top card of your library. If it's a zombie card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, you may put it into your graveyard. This can also get rid of a land or some other cards you don't want to draw by putting them in your graveyard. Fellstinger, black and 2 colorless for a 3/2 zombie scorpion with Death Touch and Exploit, which means When this creature enters, you may sacrifice a creature. When this creature exploits a creature, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Again, we can always cast a creature we sacrifice from graveyard with Zul's ability, and hey, if you want someone to draw 2 cards, it can be a bargaining chip. Liliana's Standard Bearer. Black and 2 colorless, 3/2 Zombie Knight with Flash. When this creature enters, draw X cards, where X is the number of creatures that died under your control this turn. Excellent answer to a board wipe. Corpse Augur. 1 black, 3 colorless, 4/2 Zombie Wizard. When this creature dies, you draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the number of creature cards in target player's graveyard. Excellent sack outlet that will get you more cards. And this odd card, Corpse Harvester. 2 black, 3 colorless, 3/3 Zombie Wizard. Lots of Zombie Wizards in this deck. Cost 1 black, 1 colorless to tap and sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a zombie card and a swamp card. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Okay, so this is expensive, but I've actually pulled this off more than once in a game, and let me tell you, it's pretty good. It's an interesting card, and it's certainly fun and certainly powerful. We do run 1 Planeswalker that can definitely advance our board, Liliana of the Dark Realms. 2 black, 2 colorless. She starts off with 3 loyalty. Her +1 is search your library for a swamp card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. -3, target creature gets +X or -X until end of turn, where X is the number of swamps you control. A kill spell or a pump spell. Nice. Now, the ultimate, -6, you get an emblem with swamps you control have tap for black, 4 mana. It's nice, but probably don't ever want to use that because you get to a point where you have no swamps in this deck that you just don't need the mana. I can tell you this card is amazing though. It's a great way to ensure land drops and a great source of removal. On to protection. For protection, we're going to rely on recursion mostly to keep the engine running. Aside from Zul's ability to bring back our flesh eaters from the bin, we have some other good options, like Cemetery Recruitment. 1 black, 1 colorless, sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If it's a zombie card, draw a card. Excellent value since almost all creatures in our deck are zombies. Zombie Apocalypse. Amazing card. 3 black, 3 colorless, sorcery. Return all zombie creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Then destroy all humans. Obviously an absolute powerhouse spell, getting back all your little ghoulies from the graveyard, and hey, those annoying humans are on the board, they're gone. And only 6 mana. It's actually pretty cheap if you think about it. And hey, if you're playing versus another person playing Zombie Tribal, it'll only bring back creatures from your graveyard, not theirs. Deadly Plot. 1 black, 3 colorless, instant. Choose 1. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, or return zombie creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Always nice having more than one option. We also have Mortuary Mire, a land that enters tapped, and when it enters, you may put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. Tap to add black. And of course, the Hall of Fame tribal Zombie King, Zombie Master. 2 black, 1 colorless, 2/3 zombie, all the way from alpha. Other zombie creatures have Swamp Walk, and other zombies have pay 1 black mana to regenerate this permanent. Keep in mind, this works for all zombies, not just ours. Gravedigger. 1 black, 3 colorless, 2/2 zombie. This creature enters, you may return a target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. No idea what the hell is going on with this art, but those flowers are quite comforting. Glad Mr. Gravedigger let them be and didn't defile them. Another thing, am I the only person that loves the little sword next to the power and the little shield next to the toughness? Can we make this a new standard again? Can we bring this back? Leave me a comment if you agree or disagree. Removal. One of the deck's strengths, and to be honest, a win condition in itself, is attrition. There's so many ways to get rid of creatures. If you can survive the early game, you should be able to outlast everyone with this deck. And we have spectacular mass removal, like Force March. 3 black, X, sorcery. Destroy all creatures with mana value X or less. Very versatile, and you almost choose what you want to get rid of every time. You won't get the big boys that cost a lot, usually, but you clean up the little guys pretty easy. Another great card for small creatures is Crippling Fear. 2 black, 2 color sorcery. Choose a creature type. Creatures that aren't of the chosen type get -3, -3 until end of turn. I'll be honest, I never thought this was a good card until I played it, but on turn 4, this card is almost always a full board wipe, sometimes even later. And the best part is, your zombies will not be touched. Mutilate. Black, black, 2 color sorcery. All creatures get -1, -1 until the end of turn for each swamp you control. Okay, aside from the absolutely stunning and amazing art, and Mono Blank, I think this is the best removal card that it has. And I think this card speaks for itself on how good it is. Deadly Cover Up. 2 black, 3 colorless sorcery. Okay, bear with me on this text. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may collect Evidence 6. Destroy all creatures. If evidence was collected, exile a card from an opponent's graveyard. Then search its owner's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name and exile them. That player shuffles, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. Collect evidence is exiling cards from your graveyard, so I guess you need 6 cards from your graveyard to do this. Who knows anymore? I can't remember what is going on with these cards these days. Anyways, it's a board wipe, and I guess if you really just want to search their library, see what they got, I mean, technically you can. It's allowed in Commander, right? That evidence collect thing? Who knows? Call to the Grave. 1 black, 4 colorless enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-zombie creature of their choice. At the beginning of the end step, if no creatures are on the battlefield, sacrifice this enchantment. As long as you have a zombie out, this thing can stay on the board for a long time. Final Act. The Poor Man's Farewell. 2 black, 4 colorless sorcery. Choose 1 or more. Destroy all creatures, destroy all planeswalkers, destroy all battles, exile all graveyards. Each opponent loses all counters. I'm a really big fan of this card, and you can get it for less than $1. Necromantic Selection. 3 black, 4 colorless sorcery. Destroy all creatures, then return a creature card put into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under control. It's a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Exile Necromantic Selection. A little pricey, but late game, super good card. And if that's not enough board wipes, let me introduce you to the last one, a personal favorite of mine, Necrotic Hex. 1 black, 6 colorless sorcery. Each player sacrifices 6 creatures of their choice. You create 6 tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Sacrifice gets around a lot of things, and the 6 2/2 zombie tokens you get are icing on the cake. And we definitely have lots of spot removal, like Doomblade. Yes, Doomblade. Instant for black and 1 colorless. Destroy target non-black creature. I don't care what EDH Recast says or any other person or channel. I'm using this card because I love the art and have 4 copies of it from all the way back when they were in Standard and it was a staple. Love Doomblade. Consuming Corruption. Black, black instant. Consuming Corruption deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker and you gain X life, where X number of swamps you control. X removal, excellent life gain. And lastly, we have creatures that make everyone sacrifice a creature when they enter, like Accursed Marauder and Fleshbag Marauder. So, in order to end the game, hopefully we've been surviving a grind and our opponents are out of resources and our zombies can eat away at our opponents. We have quite a few ways to pump our zombies, and here are some of them. Bad Moon. 1 black, 1 colorless enchantment. Black creatures get +1/+1. Sure, it pumps all black creatures, but for 2 mana, the value is there. Cemetery Reaper. 2 black, 1 colorless, 2/2 zombie. Other zombie creatures you control get +1/+1. And you can pay black, 2 colorless, tap, exile target creature card from a graveyard. Create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. It doubles as a graveyard hate. Death Baron. 2 black, 1 colorless, 2/2 zombie wizard. Skeletons you control and other zombies you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. Death Touch is definitely nice. Lord of the Accursed. Black, 2 colorless, 2/3 zombie. Other zombies you control get +1/+1. Pay black, 1 colorless, tap. All zombies gain menace until end of turn. Nice evasion. We also have other cards to help close the game out, like Bastion of Remembrance. Black, 2 colorless enchantment. When this enchantment enters, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Whenever a creature control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Vengeful Dead, black and 3 colorless, 3/2 zombie. Whenever this creature or another zombie dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Mogus's Marauder, yes, black and 2 colorless, 2/2 human berserker. When this creature enters, up to X target creatures each gain Intimidate and Haste until end of turn, where X is your devotion to black. Gem Palm Polluter, black and 5 colorless for a 3 zombie. Probably never going to cast this, but it has cycling for black, discard this card, draw a card. When you cycle this card, you may have target player lose life equal to the number of zombies on the battlefield. Not a bad burn spell, and it'll draw you a card. And one of my favorites, Shepherd of Rot, black and 1 colorless, 1/1 zombie cleric. Tap, each player loses 1 life for each zombie on the battlefield. And some more amazing finishers include Endless Ranks of the Dead, 2 black, 2 colorless enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, create X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, where X is half the number of zombies you control, rounded down. If you can get into a game that's light on enchant removal, this card can carry you. Army of the Damned, 3 black, 5 colorless sorcery. Create 13 tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. But wait, there's more. Flashback for 3 black, 7 colorless. You can cast it from your graveyard for its flashback cost, and then exile it. And lastly, Rise of the Dreadmarn, black and 2 colors instant. Create X 2/2 black zombie berserker creature tokens, where X is the number of non-token creatures that died this turn. It also has Foretell for black. During your turn, you may pay 2 colorless and exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it on a later turn for its Foretell cost. Excellent board wipe protection and recovery. You can even cast this on turn 1, and no matter when you cast it, it's only going to cost 1 black mana. And on a side note, I just want to mention my girl, Coffin Queen. Black, 2 colorless, 1/1 zombie wizard. You may choose not to untap this creature during your untap step. You can pay black and 2 colorless to tap, and put a target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. When this creature becomes untapped or you lose control of this creature, exile that creature. I love Kaja Foglo's art. I actually made a video about her and other MTG artists you should check out. But this card is so cool. The skeletons in the background, the forearms, the coloring. This card is really good. I love it. So wrapping up, you might have noticed I did not include cards like Grey Merchant of Asphodel or Blood Artist. I just didn't want to turn this deck into another boring Drain Life default deck with a bunch of auto-includes. To me, it takes away the fun of actually picking cards that you just want to play and craft. Now, there's nothing wrong with adding those cards. I have them in some of my decks, but those decks are just meant to straight up win and win fast. So this deck's more of just for fun. You know, it's a $50 budget deck, and it could definitely win, but, you know, I just didn't really think I needed to include those cards. And speaking of cards I enjoy, I do really enjoy this deck. I think for a $50 budget, it runs well. The only downside is the deck runs a lot of board wipes, which can be frustrating in some games because some people get really bothered by that. But in my defense, and in my opinion, I don't think you can play EDH in 2025 anymore without lots of board wipes, because there's so many ways to protect creatures now and the speed of the game. I mean, if you don't have multiple board wipes, can you really compete? I don't think so, even in casual games. Now, whether that's good or bad for the format, well, that's another discussion. The deck list is in the comments, and I'd love to hear your opinions about it. I highly recommend this commander. It's nice, low power, but can still win any game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, and that's all, folks.